So I messed up, just so annoying, it's just a complete waste of time and wood. This one hurt, this one really hurt.
Last episode, Ben started work on the drawers for our galley.
This is where our drawers are going to live. The box is going to be made of 12mm ply, which is going to be butt jointed together.
But being the perfectionist he is, it wasn't quite smooth sailing, shall we say.
I keep doing the maths, I get different answers every time.
But he, of course, kept going, kept grafting and chipping away.
Now that is immensely satisfying.
Until one drawer soft closed to perfection. Now follow along as he encounters several more bumps in the road, but with an incredibly satisfying outcome.
Hello, Ellie. Okay, I've spoken to the boss and we are in agreement that in lieu of having one giant drawer at the top of the stack, we're going to have two shorter ones. We will lose a little bit of space doing it that way, but I think it's going to be way more efficient to have dedicated drawers for like cutlery and cooking utensils, so that we're not digging around underneath loads of other stuff to get to it. So I think that is the right thing to do. That's what we'd have at home, so that's what we're going to do here as well. So I'm now going to get to work. I'm going to make a shorter one and test fit that and see how that looks. A little whoopsie with the router and I slipped off track just a little bit. I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm not gonna remake the piece, I'm just gonna keep it as is, and then hopefully I'll just fill that. Once it's filled and painted, you won't even notice. That is an error that I've made, and I will hopefully not make it again. Okay, with these two drawers successfully installed, I just had a little play around. This gap wasn't quite even all the way through. Now it is. That's really satisfying. I have the box built that goes on the top here. Really happy with the two smaller ones, but that's going to do us really well. I don't have the drawer sliders for that yet. They do have them in stock down the road, so I might, if I have time at the end of the day, run and grab those so we can finish this off. But I'm going to shift focus now to the bottom drawer. We're going to have a really big deep drawer for pots and pans, etc. Due to the shape of the hull of that, is a really big curve at the bottom, so I'm going to do a slightly odd shape. It's going to be longer at the top than at the bottom, and then just have a curved back, not curved back, but a slanted back, just so we can make the most of that space. The sliders, I'm going to normally sit them at the bottom of the shelf, but I'm going to sit them just a little bit up, just so we can get more pull on it. It does mean, however, that the drawer won't come all the way out like these do. These come 500mm all the way out. This won't. There'll be about 150mm where it doesn't come out. That I'm going to live with. I think we can, the amount of things that we're going to put in here, the gap is going to be big enough. So I'm going to install it, see how it looks. If it is going to be an issue, then we'll come back to it, but I don't think it is. So I'm just going to crack on, build the box, get it installed and see how it looks. Alright, test fit. Okay, I've just done a test fit of the big box at the bottom and it is way too big, it just won't fit. I've done some measurements and it's about 12mm over. Now, there is a 12mm measurement that I'm supposed to take into account. I thought I did, maybe I didn't. It doesn't really matter, it's quite an easy fix. I just need to trim 12mm off 3 of the bits of wood and then put it all back together again. I don't have to faff around with any more angles or anything like that, just straight cuts, 12mm, put it back together and let's see if it fits. So I messed up. I'm really annoyed at myself, and it's one of those times where I really wish I had a bit of a time machine, or if I just spent some time thinking about what I was doing. The box wouldn't fit, so then it felt just too wide, so then I took some measurements. Thinking back, it's so stupid. I took some measurements and I was like, oh, I'm 12mm too wide. So I took the box apart, trimmed it down 12mm, offered it up again, and it was just way too thin. Wouldn't reach the drawer sliders. And I realised that I was taking the measurement off the bit of wood, the inside bit of wood, not the full width. So I had the measurement of the insert, and I just did the maths completely wrong and just basically butchered it. And when I look back, the actual measurements I had the first time, the width of the box was bang on, it was perfect. So I was trying to figure out what I was doing, and then I realised I was just trying to put the box in backwards. Absolutely from Melbourne. That's all it was. I was trying to put the front of the box in first, so the sliders wouldn't accept it, and I just butchered the box for no reason. So my options are either to just glue the bits back on that I just took off, but then they're still going to be too short because of the blade width. That's not really an option, so I think I'm just going to have to recut the wood, which is just so annoying. It's just a complete waste of time and wood. Yeah, I don't normally make mistakes like that. I'm not sure what happened. So I'm just going to mope just for a couple more minutes, and then I'm just going to crack on and redo it. I'm not the mopey kind of guy, but this one hurt. This one really hurt. So after my little mishap yesterday, I decided to end the day on a little win. I thought going back and fixing that box immediately wouldn't have been good for my mental health. I think I just needed to move on with something else and forget about it until the next day. So before I went home last night, I got this top box in. This is working really well. As you can see, it's really close to the top here. My spacing didn't quite work out. This isn't really an issue. I need to go around and have a look at all these. Even though it doesn't quite look like it, these spaces actually are identical within 2 or 3mm. But I want to drop these down. Ellie's quite happy with it because once we cut little handhold cutouts in here, it should be fine. But I'm just worried about anything, because we're going to keep cooking utensils in here. If anything gets wedged between the front here and the top here, it might be quite difficult to get out. So these gaps are quite big, so I'm just going to drop these down just by 4 or 5mm, and that'll create as a nice extra 15mm in here, so open that up to about 20mm, so that'll be really good. They're also not quite, I think the ones at the back left are slightly lower, so the box isn't sitting perfectly straight, but that's absolutely fine. So came in this morning with gusto and remade the box. I only had to cut one extra bit of wood. I did make it a little bit smaller so I could reuse the bits that I'd already made, so it wasn't all that bad in the end. I offered it up, and guess what? Didn't fit, it was too wide. So I went back for lunch. I was chatting to Ellie, and she said, are you sure it's too wide? Are you sure it's too wide? Before you start cutting down, and I made sure. I offered it up, I could see it was too wide, so I took 3mm off instead of 12. I took 3mm off, and it fit like an absolute glove. So now we have a really good soft closing drawer for our pots and pans. Got to come up with a little solution to make sure these are locked in place all the time. It's probably just going to be a little sliding lock. Ellie wanted me to look into electromagnets, which is one way of doing it, but I think maybe just a little sliding lock will suffice for now, so we're not using too much power. But so far, all these are really good, really happy with them. They're a little bit stiff at times. I think that's just going to take time getting used to them and stuff. So yeah, really chuffed, really happy with this. I'm going to spend some time on it now, as I said, working on these gaps, leveling off the drawer slides, and then I'm going to cut some finger holes, and then we'll probably call it a day on this. I probably won't glue them together just yet. I think I'll just move on to something else, just to get that sense of progression, and then come back, glue, epoxy, and get these all finished up. But yeah, super happy. These are going to be covered. We are going to have a cupboard door that's just going to open out over them. So these will, and that will lock as well. So with each individual locked and the door cover blocked as well, they're not going anywhere. So really happy, and yeah, good day, really good day.